What it do, what it is, y'all. It's your girl, Black Pop, Queen DMV, Queen R&B, and school principal of the music industry. Today, we're going to be talking about how it's just time to tell people what they are. Light skin versus dark skin. And how sex is your personal power and how to use it to see through people. We've gotten to a place where it's just time to tell people what they actually are and what they're not, so that they don't get too ahead of themselves in a league that they haven't mastered. And those that are of the standard get to call those shots, because why? We're in a new generation. Things are getting too chaotic, and it's just time to have those conversations about colorism and sex, because that's where most of our issues lie. And a lot of people like to use money to hide under, to get away from these conversations. And a lot of people just need to learn how to stay out of conversations that aren't about the shit that you actually care about. So if you don't care about dealing with men, this conversation is not for you. Because when it comes down to light skin versus dark skin, it's all about the standard of beauty, what keeps a man's dick hard, so that I don't have to work as hard. Because if you don't know me to be loud, angry, or violent and aggressive within the last 10 years, then you can't even address Black Pop about why certain dark-skinned women act like that. And at this point, you should only be learning from me. As long as I stay sexy and stay within my weight class, as I stand at 5'10". Because as dark-skinned women, if you want what you want, if you really want to get what you want, you have to separate yourself from the crash outs, the fat bitches, ugly bitches, bitches that's only cute, basic bitches, and non-sexual bitches. Why? Because everyone knows that being dark-skinned is the hardest reality to master, and when you master it, you become the standard. And one thing I've noticed, and it may not be all women, is that when a woman helps you, she's never gonna let you hear the end of it. She's gonna make you eat shit for it. And if you dare surpass her, she's gonna go out her way to sabotage it, because it's not her. As to where if you ask a man for some help and you just slept for it, you slept with him for it, it's nothing but even exchange. Because when you're the best candidate for your league, you need to stay within your league. And the category that will always separate women will always be through colorism. Because that's the first difference that we have between light skin versus dark skin. And when it comes to light skin versus dark skin, the dark skinned woman is the mother. The light-skinned woman is the daughter. You wouldn't even exist if I didn't sleep with the white man. If he didn't want to fuck my pussy, you wouldn't be around. So you can be prettier all you want. I could never compete with my daughter. So as a pretty dark-skinned woman, I can admit when a woman's prettier than me. And the truth is, the light-skinned woman does lead in beauty. Let her lead in beauty, because a light-skinned woman will lead in beauty until a man realizes that he needs more than that, and then he realizes that the dark-skinned woman also has beauty and substance as well. And I'd rather give it to the light-skinned woman to be the standard of beauty in America. Why? Because you're still of Black descent. And the truth is, when a Black woman is ugly and she puts on makeup, it helps her. But when a white woman puts on makeup and she's ugly, she's still ugly. I'll take a fat, black, round nose before I ever take a long, sword, white bitch nose. You see that bitch nose before you see her coming. And that goes for any racial ambiguous girl. You wouldn't be here if your dad didn't want to nut in my pussy. And that goes for the Dominican mommy. So at the end of the day, the light-skinned woman is supposed to be prettier. You're the upgrade. You know, you came after. So you can go run and play and go get all the attention while your dad is licking my vagina and I'm in the bedroom making sure that we get the things that we need. So as the dark-skinned woman, I'm the mama. I'm the original of all beauty. So at the end of the day, that's why they made all this stuff for me. They made the hair, the makeup, the wigs for me. The truth is, we need it more sometimes as dark-skinned women. So at the end of the day, I gotta be in the bedroom to make sure that we have orderly conduct in this world. When your father nuts in my fucking pussy again. So as long as your white father keeps nutting in my pussy, then we'll always have light-skinned babies. So you're welcome. And at the end of the day, light-skinned women know that usually their friends use them for their beauty to get things as for the collective. You know, if I'm just on my knees with your dad's dick in my mouth, I don't have to be in the front. I could just lay in bed with daddy. So I'll just do that. And as dark-skinned women, if you really want what you want, you need to get alone. In friend groups, you will be put last. You can only be first when you're the standard and you're doing your womanly duties, like how Queen D&B likes to be on her knees. Because at some point, all a woman wants to do is just get her rest. So let the light-skinned woman go burn herself out in the name of being the face of beauty. Because all pussy is pink. Because it's not dirty work. It's a real woman's job. And as long as I'm in bed with your daddy, I get my rest. Because attention is about focusing on other people. And I don't give a fuck to be seen by you motherfuckers that much. And that's why it's called beauty rest. So I can stay beautiful. I get enough attention from your daddy in the bedroom. The light-skinned women lead in what it looks like. Dark-skinned women lead in what it is. Light-skinned women lead in beauty. Dark-skinned women lead in substance. I'm the first woman of all civilization. So I was here before you. I'm gonna be here after you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I created this. So if there's anyone who needs to be in the bedroom with the daddy, it's the dark-skinned woman. You need to be in the bedroom with the daddy more than anybody. It's mandatory. Because sex is what makes people adults. It's not money, because even your parents will give you an allowance. It's not having a job because they tell you what to do. It's sex, because sex is your personal power. In the same way, we have to separate people by color, because that's our most obvious differences. We have to separate by beauty and attributes. So, pretty people with pretty people cute people with cute people, ugly people with ugly people, fat people with fat people. Because when you're fat, you're throwing off the frequency, and you're gonna be the reason why people don't get what they need. And sexual girls need to be friends with sexual girls, because girls that aren't sexual, that are friends with sexual girls, throw off the vibe because you're judging everybody. Because as women, you always have the choice to work in the field or work in the bedroom. It's your right to have the choice. That's just like mastering character and mastering what's on the inside, and it just coincides the same way. Do you see what I'm getting? Like, working in the field is your character. Working in the bedroom is like who you are. So it's important to master your character and your beauty, your character and what's on the inside. And another thing that I hate about female rappers is they're very exploitive. They don't really like sex. They're exploitive. They're not the queen of the bedroom. They're the type of women to go on a date with a man, get drunk and high, and will spend the night with you. Lay in bed ass naked and be like, we're not having sex. Yeah. Female rappers, they get fucked. They don't have real sex. And that's just rude. That's what little girls do. How you gonna ask for a throne and don't even sit on it? Female rappers, they're like freaky bitches. They're not mature enough. Sex is what makes us adults, you know. And it's just that women don't know what they're looking for, or what they're looking for is pointless because they ended up finding it in themselves, because we rule the sex realm. That's a feminine realm. And just as a baby needs to be held and touched a certain way to stop crying and to survive, an adult needs to be touched on a deeper level so that you can run smoother. A baby will reject a bottle and even their father just to be held the right way by their mother, because you have pillows, which is breasts. And that's why women need to get back to mastering the bedroom, because the people that have a distorted outlook on sex are the ones that exploit it. The people who don't respect sex and see it for the sacredness that it is are the ones who exploit it. So even when a woman asks you for a kiss like this, she's asking you to show me what's real. Show me what happens when your dick gets hard and it grows. Like that. Because people that don't get the sex they want, they're usually more bitter, angry, stiff, and kind of awkward, versus the people that do get the sex they want. They're usually calm, cool, collected, relaxed, expressive. Why? Because they know they can have what they want and they don't have to manipulate for it. And through sex, it also helps you get closer to yourself. Sex opens you up to yourself, and with that, it helps you to be able to read people better.